First thing in the morning, I give Alex a drag count, how many drags he had laying here and on the rest of the sail. And I got close to like 65, 70 drags I counted up. And he says, well, way to drop the morale in this company today, for crying out loud. I figured I'd have it done. We'd have it done today. Well, we got it done, but we hustled. We each hauled 3 loads in, the 4 trucks did, plus 1 of balsam. So we got it done. Well, this is the second time this has happened to me. I think I get interference from the remote control that operates the chipper. Throttles it up and shuts it down and so on. It shut my screen off, so I could no longer see what the drone was looking at. I got on the radio and said I had a disconnect on my remote on my drone. Anybody see it in the sky? And everybody stopped and started looking. Alex, I could see him looking when I walked out, and Tony stopped the loader and he was looking. Tony got eyes on it, and he got my attention by yelling at me, and then I picked it up in the sky, but it was pretty close to the sun, but lower. But once I seen it, then I could fly it like my old remote control planes. And the first thing I done was I started flying it away from me, and realized it was going away, getting smaller, so then I had to turn around and come back towards me. But there's no visual. You can't see anything on it. I have a black front on it, it's black reflector, so I can see what's just front and back, but when you're looking at the sun, you can't see it. But anyways, I got a hold of it and got it flown it to myself and put it down on the ground, and then you shut it off and restart it and it hooks it back up, and then I finished doing my flight. My drone is equipped with the return to home feature, but if I had taken off from the road previously, like next to the highway, it'll go to that point if I haven't initialized and got the home location set. So I don't like using that. I'd rather get eyes on it and fly it back. right here in this video, you can hear me revving up the engine, giving it more power just to spin it. I'm giving her all she's got to get her through, but I didn't have to get pushed by the skidder, so we made it through without, I believe, getting any trucks stuck too bad. I think James had to get pushed yesterday at one point in the day, but I made it through all the way. Posting this about the super singles to Too Fast 65. Yes, I did get a leaking tire. It leaked down a little bit in a week's time, and so I brought it into Junction Tire. And what in the world would you have two different type screws right side by side in a tire for? I don't understand how that happened, but I got her fixed. Notice how the wind just catches that balsam dust and carries it way up high. It's pretty neat the way it does that. notice Nathan down in front of the flail. He's getting the area cleaned out and ready to receive the hitch that Tony just swung over there. And then I think Alex will come with the skidder and grab that hitch, and Nathan will help guide it into where it belongs. Well, this is the last load coming out of the sale, and we get to pack up the equipment, get it moved out, and get it back to the shop. They can do some work on it, and winter's officially over for us, and then we start in on our stockpiles. The way this played out, it was a little over 1,700 cords of wood at 126 loads that come out of this place, and we done it in 7.5 days. That's pretty good for a... Tony would give me a sample of chips, and then I'd end up forgetting them in my truck and bringing them back to the woods and not putting in them that toolbox at Sappy by the scale so they can, you know, check it out and see how our chips are turning out. Well, he called me on the radio and mentioned that he had a bag of chips on the front of his loader for me to take with me today. Well, he waited until I got all the way back and asked me, hey, did you take out that chip at Sappy? And I says, oh, I forgot to grab it. He says, yeah, I know. I looked down and I seen it sitting there. Well, you know, I ain't the only one that has a bad memory. I started following Tony with the drone. I got above him and I seen that he stopped here on the corner. I thought, what is he doing? Well, he walks all the way. I thought maybe he forgot what he forgot, but look at how muddy the road is anyways. He don't even want to get into the mud and the water and stuff. But he walked over and got a ticket. I was going to call him and let him know to get a ticket for that load so I could get it wrote out and get it in a ticket box. And I thought, no, let's see if he can remember to grab it. So that's the way that day played out on that ticket for him to, he's walking to go get it.
up again.
Back up, what do you do, jump out?
No.
Yeah. Well, one skidder out of here. One more to go. Well, the boys got the loader hooked to the skidder and started tugging on it and had a little difficulty at the beginning. It started wadding up some of them chips in front and maybe had a little bit of lean to it. I don't know how much, but anyways, they pulled it up here. Stephen then drove it in a ways and grabbed the tires, the duals, and stuck them on there. And then they hooked it back up to Alex so Alex could assist pulling it out, and Stephen run the hydraulic drive on it and kept the tires rolling so they wouldn't push and wad up more of them chips around the ground because it's so heavy. They got it out to the end of the road and I backed under it, and that's what I got to carry back to the shop. Well, Alex Skidder was the last one to make it to the shop. He had to do some rehab and cleaning up on the landing back there. And so that was the last piece to make it in. Last night, Stephen's got to go on Monday and pick up the delimber and that feller buncher and bring them two home. wondering what we carry in them 55-gallon drums. One is used flail chains and the other one's brand new flail chains. Well, this is one of the last loads James hauls to Sappy here today, and then we're done for this spring. So I think he's getting a little excited to be out of that truck for the winter. I lost my father-in-law and a close friend last winter, and he built a chicken coop. Here's a sawmill. That was his last cut he made, and it's an old sawmill he's had around and cut a lot of timber for me for house lifting and stuff. And I always go over there and visit with him in the summertime, go out in the shed and have coffee or whatever, and just a joy to go and visit with. Very knowledgeable man. And you might recognize Art from being in Sappy. He's hauled for Kurt Ravel, Jerry Domingue, and even my dad at one time into the Sappy. And my grandson Hunter John got a chance to help at the sawmill, and he enjoyed being out there. This is Eric and Steven. Eric is the one that runs a buncher. Steven drives truck, and there's my father-in-law Art Ryan. And then the picture of his wife, and the last picture here is Art holding my granddaughter. That's a special needs child, Lily Sampson. I also lost my uncle, Stuart Domingue. He passed away in the woods running a loader slashing wood this winter. And I just wanted to throw these pictures up because he also hauled many, many years into Sappy, and he was in the woods his whole life. So this is pictures I wanted to share with y'all.